Okay, I want to talk about three different people here. I've referenced Edgar Cayce on a number of my videos that I just did for the past few hours, and I'm going to talk about Robert Monroe. And the third person I want to talk about, probably obscure to most people here, is Gilbert Holloway, something that most people here won't remember who he is, but I've never heard of. But anyway, on Edgar Cayce, they called him a sleeping prophet. He would have us, later in life, early in his life, he didn't do this, but he'd found that if he could sleep with a book under his pillow, he could absorb the knowledge of the book, something that he found kind of interesting. But, as a kid and later in life, he found out that he had a lady, he would go into a trance, have a lady ask him questions. And, let's say some lady would write into him. This is back in the days when people would still write letters, but this is back in he died like in 1943. So, but anyway, somebody would say, "Hey, my daughter is afflicted with this or that, or my son has this condition," and he would ask for like a first name and a city and something. Okay, let's say Sandra has got lower abdominal pains, and he would give some medical advice that didn't really make a lot of sense, but the mother would follow he would write them back, and the mother would follow the instructions, and they would work for some weird reason. Now, all his, the Cayce Foundation, I don't know where it's at, but I'm sure you can look it up. And all this stuff is still out there. All this advice is still out there. But Edgar Cayce was a devout Christian, but, believed in Jesus and taught Sunday school and all that, but also believed in reincarnation. So the two are not mutually exclusive. But another thing I found interesting, and it's out there, but so as one story goes, Jesus had believed in reincarnation and had actually taught reincarnation in, some of the early, he had actually taught as a rabbi. I don't know if he's actually an ordained rabbi, but he had taught, some of the places that he had visited, and but it was taken out of the Bible at the Council of Nicaea, 326 or 329. You can look it up. Constantine had ordered the church to put together a council. That's a completely different discussion, but you can look up the Council of Nicaea. But some believe that Jesus had believed in reincarnation, but it was taken out. But anyway, like I said, that's a completely different discussion. I'll probably engage that here sometime because I find that interesting too. But Edgar Cayce's works out there. Another interesting person I found was Robert Monroe. Now, Robert Monroe was a businessman. He was an electronics engineer. He was messing around with deep relaxation and various sound techniques, various audio techniques, and he was playing around with them. He found himself going out of body by accident. When he finally figured out what it was, he was kind of playing around with it. He would do various experiments to prove to him that it was right, that it was actually happening. And he wrote 3 books, which are very interesting. Another person I'm going to cover here is Gilbert Holloway. Now, most people here won't have any idea. I remember he was on the radio. I was a kid, a young adult, something like that. But he was on, was it KOB out of Albuquerque? But, you could call into he had a radio talk show, but you could call in, you could give him like your first name. He would tell you all about somebody. I see a young man that's going to get into politics, a young man that's going to invent some device that's going to free us from petroleum. I remember was reading that a friend of that I actually same thing. My sister called in, with my name, and that's kind of what. Of course, I didn't do either. I didn't get into politics, and I didn't invent some machine that would free us all from petroleum. That was his prediction for me. So I don't know if he's all that right, but a lot of other people that listened to him, I thought he was pretty cool. But some of his old shows are probably here on YouTube somewhere. I haven't tried to look him up, but I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking of Gilbert Holloway. But anyway, okay, bye-bye.